The revised text, to the scope, states that, this article, contains only, those definitions, essential to the application, of this code. It is not intended, to include, commonly defined general terms, or commonly defined technical terms, from related codes, and standards. An article number, in parentheses, following the definition, indicates, that the definition, only applies, to that article. The informational note, states that, a definition, that is followed, by a reference in brackets, has been extracted, from one, of the following standards. Only editorial changes, were made to, the extracted text, to make it consistent, with this code. These standards are, NFPA, 30A, 2021, Code for, Motor Fuel Dispensing Facilities, and Repair Garages. NFPA, 33, 2021, Standard for, Spray Application, using flammable, or combustible materials. NFPA, 75, 2020, Standard for, the fire protection of, information technology equipment. NFPA, 79, 2021, Electrical Standard for, industrial machinery. NFPA, 99, 2021, Healthcare Facilities Code. NFPA, 101, 2022, Life Safety Code. NFPA, 110, 2019, Emergency and Standby Power Systems. NFPA, 303, 2021, Fire Protection Standard, for marinas and boatyards. NFPA, 307, 2021, Standard for the construction and fire protection of marine terminals, piers, and wharves. NFPA, 499, 2021, Recommended Practice, for the classification, of combustible dusts, and of hazardous classified locations, for electrical installations, in chemical process areas. NFPA, 501, 2022, Standard for manufactured housing. NFPA, 790, 2021, Standard for competency, of third-party, field evaluation bodies. And NFPA, 1192, 2021, Standard on recreational vehicles. The Correlating Committee advises that article scope statements are the responsibility of the Correlating Committee, and the Correlating Committee rejects the panel action. Revising the scope to include an explanation of placing the article number in parentheses at the end of the definition will indicate the definition only applies to that article to comply with 2.2.2.3.2 of the NEC Style Manual. An informational note was added to identify the reference standards where the extracted material originated, to comply with 4.3.2.3 of the NEC Style Manual. This revision was developed by NFPA staff for editorial purposes in accordance with 4.4.9.6.2 and 4.4.9.6.3 of the regulations governing the development of NFPA standards. For further information, visit www.nfpa.org/regs. A missing reference is added to the informational note on the scope of Article 100, NFPA 499, 2021, Recommended Practice for the classification of combustible dusts and of hazardous classified locations for electrical installations in chemical process areas. NFPA 499 is the source text for the extracted definition of combustible dust in Article 100. A revision has been made to the scope. The code-making panel advises that article scope statements are the responsibility of the Correlating Committee. This revision to the scope includes an explanation of placing the article number in parentheses at the end of the definition, indicates the definition only applies to that article. Therefore, this revision complies with 2.2.2.3.2 of the NEC Style Manual. A new information note has been added to identify the reference standards where the extracted material originated, to comply with 4.3.2.3 of the NEC Style Manual. These revisions were needed, since all definitions are now contained in Article 100, and Parts 1, 2, and 3 have been removed.